Hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone. I'll try to do a better job at spacing the microphone. I'm Eric Ashworth. I am head of agency solutions and product to market strategy at Quad. Quad is a marketing experience company doing a variety of different ways to get customers and brands to have a more intimate relationship and move more products. That do okay, Josh? And look, with me today, I have Cristina Liquori, who's joining us from Lego. Unbelievable company, obviously iconic. So we're going to spend a little bit of time in her background because it's pretty unique to, I think, a professional career. And she's going to give some background on how Lego continues to be relevant, continues to innovate and think differently. And I think there's some really important aspects of any iconic brand like Lego. There's some foundational things that they continue to do differently and think more proactively about. And I'm going to dig in with her a little bit on a couple of those. So, Cristina, I'd love to just have you go through your background, how long you've been at Lego. It's been a while, given you got a pretty young career, and walk through your experiences to date and start to feed us a little bits of information about how Lego can stay so brilliantly creative and relevant.
Yeah, sounds good. Hopefully the part about me will be short. The part about the Lego brand will be a bit longer, but it's nice to see you all. My name's Cristina. I look after U.S. marketing for the Lego Group. We're based up in Enfield, Connecticut. But yeah, I've been with the company 11 years. That's actually a fairly short amount of time to be with the Lego brand. I'm still relatively new relative to other folks. But yeah, I've been across a number of roles, marketing and sales, US and UK geography. Spent 3.5 years in brand marketing to start my career there. Spent 3.5 years calling on our Amazon business, which was really exciting. Moved over to the UK to work in digital marketing. Found myself back in brand marketing, and now I'm leading the US marketing business. So yeah, grew up with the Lego Group, which has been really fun.
So you grew up with Lego Group. A lot of our kids, people that have kids grew up, hell, a lot of us grew up with Lego. How, as the brands evolved, it started out as a Denmark company, expanded, obviously become a global business. If you look at children at the core of Lego, how does that stay relevant when you're traversing so many different demographies and ethnographies across the globe? Because is play that similar and simple for kids regardless of where they're located?
Yeah, so we celebrated our 90-year anniversary this year, so founded in 1932. So yes, we have certainly had to evolve, but what's really interesting about kids and play is that there is more in common across different markets than there is uncommon. So we know kids use play to learn, and that is true in every market. Kids use play to relate to the world around them, and so as we've guided our brand, it's been all about giving them tools to help build and reflect the world they live in, which could look different based on the market, but also help them build the world they want to see, which we also see in our research that kids have a lot of similar visions for the future across different markets as well.
So how does that, so as a brand, you're now responsible for marketing in the US. Is there tactical differences between how Lego approaches parents buying for kids in that playtime and what you've noticed in, say, let's just talk about the Americas, right? Is there discernible difference between how you market the brand in North America versus how you might market it in Central America or even Canada for that matter?
Yeah, so we have a global marketing structure, and that's based on that similarity is actually the core of a lot of what we do can be the same globally. So we have a global marketing structure, and then what I do with some America's colleagues, right, is identify where maybe some of those differences might be for the US market. For instance, a lot of the marketing we do for our core product portfolio is pretty much the same across the globe, but then there might be specific market differences, like language, of course, is an obvious one, but then cultural conversations that folks are following might be different in the United States, right, than say a Denmark or a Germany. So that's where we put that lens on to say, all right, what is the conversation that kids and parents are having that might be different here? And is there something we need to do that's either an amplification of a campaign we create globally or actually an activation that we need to create completely from scratch in the US market?
So let's talk about that for a second. So if there's a nuance that's identified, let's say in Central America or in Germany, we were talking about Germany earlier, is there an opportunity for that market to create the visibility of a new product type or a new engagement form that then can make it up back to the global scale, and then that can be interpreted and figured out if that's relevant for the rest of the Lego network? Walk us through how innovation happens at Lego.
Yeah, so we have a global product portfolio, and we launch over 300 products a year. So innovation is kind of in our
Is that a lot? Like, what's the total SKU count?
It's about half, a little over half of our products every year, because kids are driven by what is new and exciting, right? So that has driven a lot of our innovation. It's just built into our product development process. But to your point, if a certain market, right, wants to see something different in our product portfolio, right, that goes through a global process where we prioritize, give input from the markets into that global product portfolio, but we have largely the same product portfolio across all our markets. Again, because the insights of play have more in common than difference. Where you might get the different market input is more on the marketing side versus the product. And you might position a product in a different way, or you might want to say something differently about that product to a different audience, or activate it in a geographically local way, or work with a retailer that is only present in a certain market. So that's where the nuance comes in a bit differently.
So on an activation level, that's an interesting strain. So obviously, you're dealing with an age range that starts pretty young and can go well into adulthood.
Yes.
As you're launching kids that are more, let's say on the younger side, so let's say sub 12, sub 10, how do you guys manage between marketing to the child and marketing to the parent, right? Because you've got screen consumption time issues everyone's worried about. A lot of kids now don't have cell phones. So can you walk us through specifically the balance between marketing to children and marketing to their parents who buy for the children?
Sure, yeah, it's something we talk about a lot, is the joy of having a consumer who is not your shopper, right? So you need to convince all parties involved in the process of buying a Lego set. Child hopefully needs to be excited and desire the product. Parent and or gift giver, aunts, grandparents, friends need to and want to believe that what they are buying for that child, right, is going to give them joy and put a smile on their face, right? So we need to balance all of that in what we're doing. So of course, everything we do at the Lego Group is focused on kids. Children are our role models. We spend hours and hours talking to them, researching, figuring out what is cool and new and fun to you. So that's where we start, is making sure we have product that is exciting for kids, and then telling them about it. So that's our core. But then yes, I would say maybe in the past 5 years or so, we've also started to focus more and more on parents, helping them see the potential in endless creative play with Lego bricks, in addition to maybe some of our other product offerings. So I'd say right now it's fairly balanced. How we approach it is securing and making sure we're addressing kids first, but then helping parents kind of discover all of the options we have in our portfolio. We have a very large product portfolio that most people don't even actually realize we have. So that's one barrier we're working on with kids and parents. But then also helping parents see, the value in Lego Play, because it's a system in play, and can also help kids, build whatever they want to see. So I would say it's definitely balanced between the two audiences.
Okay, two more product questions. First is, are you finding that there's Lego households, right? So mom and dad grew up, or one or the other grew up with Legos. Therefore, that's a different nuanced marketing message in order to get them to consume for their kids. Well, answer that one first. Or how do you do that? How do you divide the time between more into homes that already adore Lego and incremental homes that might not already consume Lego?
Yeah, so we talk about this a lot. Do you speak to the converted, or do you go, to folks who still need to come on the journey? Of course, we want to do both. We balance it with, we have great programs like through our Lego retail channel, or we have Lego apps, our Lego Kids magazine, right, where Lego fans can go out and seek Lego experiences through our ecosystem. And they tend to do that fairly organically once, they have kind of realized their love for the brand. I would say a lot of what my team does day to day is trying to speak to those who maybe are not yet fully bought into the idea of a ton of Lego products around the house. So working on, okay, what is that barrier exactly? And to your point, it is, if there are parents in the house who have not necessarily grown up with the Lego brand or with Lego products for whatever reason, certainly there is a longer learning journey that hopefully we as marketers want to take them on to show them the versatile play that Lego offers and the impact it can have on children, because it's not as immediate apparent when you don't have that nostalgia factor. But we certainly do see a large amount of US parents who don't have that nostalgic parent factor with the Lego brand. Not everybody grew up playing with Lego sets. So it is something we have attempted to do. We've done a number of campaigns. Our brand platform called Rebuild the World is all about showing the different ways you can play with Lego bricks. And we've done some other campaigns for different audiences in the US who tend to have lower brand affinity across different states.
And I'm assuming a lot of the kits because when I grew up, it was just, here's a bag of Legos and you play with them and then your parents walk on them and they get pissed off and everything. But I'm assuming there was a significant pivot when there started to be the endorsements and there started being the tie-in with Hollywood. Can you walk through how do you keep it more around puzzle putting together versus true sort of what I would call net new exploration for the child? Is that intentional? How many new kits that come out are Hollywood related, more puzzle related versus pure true exploration and creative innovation for the child?
Yeah, I think the key to all of it is having something for everyone. And that's probably a pitfall we all try to avoid as marketers, is being everything to everyone. But because we have a product that is a platform, we can try to do that, right? So we still have the open-ended play product, right? If you see like a Lego Classic box, it's literally just open-ended brick with maybe a little bit of building inspiration. That is still part of our product portfolio, and you can certainly still get that. What we see, though, is sometimes that experience can be a little intimidating, maybe for first-time builders or builders who have parents who were not into building, or someone who maybe just doesn't have familiarity with the Lego brand. So what we see in maybe our sets that are more, hey, you can build this, what's on the box, that just helps get someone going. Right, so whether it is, yes, a partnership with a major licensing partner that helps maybe a child buy into the Lego system for the very first time because they love a specific character or a specific game, but in doing that helps expose them to the Lego way of playing and construction play, then that's also an option we want to have, because we know kids have tons of passion points. It's not just building. They love characters, they love gaming, they love movies, and we want to have an offering for all different types of kids.
So let's pivot a little bit into more of the product and the makeup side of it. So, company from Denmark, like a lot of the Nordic companies, very sustainability focused. Want to make sure that the impact is as little as possible as the business evolves. We're working with you guys on some pretty nuanced ways of removing all form of plastic from any of the consumer-facing product. How deep does that go down into the ethos of the company, of the sustainability side of things, doing what's right for the planet side of things? And then I want to talk about some of the social causes after that. But just talk on the sustainability front for a minute.
Yeah, I think we've been fairly public with our promises on sustainability. We definitely see when we talk to kids, they are really expressing their desire to do good for the planet, right? And if we're putting kids at the center of what we do,
What's the age break
we
on
want
that?
to do
Like,
that.
are you seeing that show itself at like 8, 9, 10? Like,
Yeah.
I've always like.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're talking to kids usually 6 to 12.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, it's definitely on their mind and in their consciousness.
It's really young.
It is, yeah, but I mean, you can imagine it is a topic that is pervasive, and kids are listening, right? So they do know and they see it. But a planet promise has been something the Lego Group has been committed to for a long time. It's not something that has come kind of newly, but our owner family has put a ton of investment behind whether it's sustainable energy or actually replacing the material that Lego bricks are out of with a more sustainable material by 2030. We've certainly put those kind of promises out there because we know it's important to kids and family that we're leaving a better planet behind for the kids we are here to serve.
And that's something that, is that annually addressed and assessed? Is there KPIs you're looking to hit in that transition, or walk us through between 2022 and 2030? Like, how's the measurement for that take place?
Yeah, so I think one of the things that is the current focus is finding the right material, right? And there's no necessarily KPI because we want to make sure you would get that exact quality of experience you get with Lego bricks now with any replacement, right? So the test and experimentation on that is ongoing. But for instance, we've actually already put elements out into our product that is already in homes that is plant-based, right? So as long as we're seeing progress on moving forward with that, that's how that's being measured. We also did our first prototype out of recycled water bottles as an example, right? So it's more measured on, are we putting actual real change out into the market rather than internal metrics.
Or just news that doesn't really matter a whole lot as far as the impact and.
Yes.
Okay. And is that something you see ratcheting up, that as that material replacement starts to manifest more in the business, will we see more marketing from Lego that speaks to sustainability, speaks to different product sourcing, plant-based? Or is that something, because it's about kids and play, that's not going to be as forward?
Yeah, it's definitely not part of kind of our everyday in terms of marketing at the moment. It's certainly something we come out and make statements about. We've done programs like Lego Replay. If you find yourself with a big box of bricks at home you don't know what to do with, we have a take-back program where we will take those bricks back, sanitize them, and make sure they go to a good cause. So we already have kind of smaller programs like Lego Replay out in the market that we are speaking about. So with programs like that, we will likely start to do more.
Love that.
But probably less focused on the exact material changes, because at the end of the day, we hope the Lego Play experience is the Lego Play experience.
So again, I look at Nordic companies for a lot of, I'm just impressed by the way they stay ahead of the curve on a lot of issues. So obviously the sustainability stuff is very relevant for a company like Lego. Talk a little about how Lego approaches the more social causes and how they're transforming the business, given the importance of making sure we get the social elements of the business right in general, and specifically around DEI. What's happening at Lego in that space?
Yeah, I think, as I said, kids want to build the life that they live and reflect reality, but they also want to build anything that they can imagine, right? So the world around us is beautiful and eclectic, but also changing. And we know that play is really important for kids building a sense of identity and expression. So the Lego Group has made a number of efforts in the diversity, equity, and inclusion space. But I think the core of it is really about three things. One is we want to be authentic in everything we're doing. So that's about internal changes of we need to change who we are internally before we're doing this, right? So that's everything from, you mentioned KPIs on representation, mandatory and non-mandatory trainings, setting up employee action groups, right? Those are kind of the basic everyone's doing that. We need to do that to be authentic from the inside, but then also we need to do the things that are right. So that could be evolving representation in our product portfolio, making sure you're seeing in our product portfolio representation from differences across gender, ability, race, ethnicity, family structure, et cetera. But then finally getting to the say part. So making sure we're taking a stand where we believe actually the Lego brand can make a difference. And where we think that is in any topic that affects kids, and where we can actually put maybe our money where our mouth is and make a contribution or make a statement through our marketing to make a difference in a space that touches on inclusion.
So I hadn't thought about that actually, because the ability for the brand, I mean, the brand touching kids at that age and making sure that the appropriateness of the gender profile that's coming into the home and the play kits, that's something that's top of mind at the company, making sure you get that right. Even if you got a licensed product that might be treating some characters, like how do you guys wrestle with that? Because there might be some characters that you've licensed, you don't necessarily agree with how they're being represented in your kits that you're bringing into people's homes.
Yeah, so I think one of the important things is to not make it up for ourselves. So one of the key things we've actually done is partner with UNICEF to tell us actually what are the standards we need to be hitting and what are the things that folks in lots of different markets are expecting from, a gender or family structure or ethnicity point of view. So we're not just setting our own standards, but actually we have a partner holding us accountable. But then, yeah, I mean, we are only putting out in the world through that lens then of what we believe is representative and inclusive.
Is there a North Star for you guys? Is there a company that or companies that you aspire to or you look to have gotten? Nobody's gotten all of this right? So are there companies that have gotten a bunch of it or most of it right that you look to or perhaps partner with or work on the sort of the DEI initiative side of things?
Yeah, I mean, I think UNICEF, obviously, it's not necessarily in that same bucket, but we look to maybe UNICEF as that neutral partner, right? Who
like an objective third party.
Exactly. So they've really helped us set our North Stars, but we're very lucky also to have partners that we work with every day who are also really good at this, right? Disney, Warner Brothers, Universal, Nintendo, Target, right? These are partners we work with every day, but they are also doing some things right in this space as well that we have worked with them on. For instance, we're doing a pretty large partnership right now with Marvel and Target around Wakanda Forever, but based in making sure STEM for girls is top of mind. So that's been really exciting because obviously the power of the Lego brand is great, but in concert with brands like Target and Marvel, we just can reach so many more kids.
So, okay, you got me on that one. So you're getting together ahead of the launch of Wakanda, and then you're figuring out a way to embed STEM programs for girls inside of the marketing of the Lego product?
Yeah, I mean, it's completely Marvel and Target led, so we're very happy to be a part of it. But yes, so there's a partnership with Black Girls Code as a part of it.
Wow.
And making sure, the Lego product within it, right, is showing how that can be a system for exploration of STEM play.
That's the perfect example of when corporations get together to do good. That's powerful.
Yeah, I mean, that's hopefully what you might all take away from today is we really believe in doing something before saying something in this space, whether that's, showing up at the right time, at the right events, or, putting money towards specific causes, but then finally getting to the marketing piece of it is then, in our final statement towards that end child or parent in why it matters.
So I know we're almost out of time, and I want to make sure we field a couple questions. You guys have done such a good job. Lego's done such a good job of partnering with Hollywood recently. Are you seeing that continuing the trajectory you guys have had over the last 3-4 years? Well, it's longer than that. It's probably a decade of just really strong. You seem to partner always with the best brands and titles that are in line with your business. Are you seeing that that marriage continuing to be so fruitful going forward? Or is sort of the proliferation of choices now with content made it harder for you guys to pick which ones to partner with? Because it's, for you guys, it's exploded in the last 5 years. So it'd be difficult to say, okay, we want to do this, we don't want to do that. Or does some of the initiatives we just discussed, like with Wakanda, does that then make them more of a preference choice versus something else you might do?
Yeah, I mean, I think we will continue to partner with entertainment properties as long as kids are interested in them, which probably will be forever. But we always, right, want to be looking at what are kids interested in these days, and is there a place where, you know, the Lego Group can provide a relevant play experience. So yes, the proliferation of content consumption is certainly more and more challenging to keep up with today, but you know, those properties that do break through and are exciting for kids, you know, that's something we'll always be considering because it is, you know, a major passion point for kids.
Okay, so we got a couple more minutes. I want to make sure I open it up and offer the opportunity for some questions of Cristina or for Lego. If there's any inquiring minds out there that want to know something from such an iconic brand. Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks, Cristina. My question is more about the in-store experience and how does that fit into the larger portfolio play just across your strategy?
Yeah, excellent question. So yeah, I think luckily we're kind of past this maybe COVID belief that in-store might go away. I think what we've seen is actually in-store plays a really important part of the consumer journey because it has become maybe it hasn't gone away, right? It has become a mainstay even post-COVID. So there's a couple of things about in-store for us specifically. One, we're a physical tactile brand, right? So to experience play with us, you have to see it, touch it, feel it. So in-store is a great way to do that. If it's our own channels, obviously we can go maybe a little more immersive. Fifth Avenue store here in New York is a great example. You can give opportunities for inspiration, like big models that just kind of awe and inspire kids. You can have more brick in hand where you might build a minifigure or there's maybe a test of a certain product that you can have. So things like that. But then in terms of in-store, maybe in retailers like Target, Walmart, Barnes & Noble, Kohl's, we certainly want to help shoppers navigate our portfolio. We have a massive product portfolio, and helping parents or gift givers find the right gift is something that we know they're looking for help with in store. And so we really want to use in store to help with that navigation. But then we actually know in-store is one of the best way to just make kids aware of our product. So as I mentioned, one of the things we're working on is helping kids be aware of all the different kinds of products we offer. In-store is the best way we can do that. It's hard to fully show our full portfolio online in an easy, digestible way. So in-store is really also about that product awareness for us. Could definitely talk to you after a little bit more in depth, but hopefully that answers your question.
Are we going to see more Lego-owned in-store experiences, or like, is that foundationally, especially given what's going to happen with retail and the ability to have available space?
Yeah,
I would love it if you guys had more retail space.
Yeah, I mean, I think you'll see us grow in both channels. Of course, that's our ambition. I mean, if you've been to the Fifth Avenue store, you know, we just relocated from Rock Center to Fifth Avenue. I think that's an indicator of the answer to your question, is giving ourselves more space to have more immersive experiences. We're doing that globally as well. We just completely renovated our Leicester Square store in London as well, which is now our biggest store globally. We're expanding in China. So certainly, since it gives us a space to help inspire kids, we want to invest there.
Well, I as a kid at heart, the ability to go into the Lego stores, it's a whole other thing. COVID was tough for you guys, but the ability to go in and experience the product and feel it, it's like a perfect manifestation of the brand in a small environment. That would seem to make so much sense. Okay, I'm going to stop because I'm getting the nod. So I want to, Cristina, thank you so much for your time. Greatly appreciate it. Thanks to all of you, and go Lego.